Hello everyone, hello boys and girls, men and women, everyone who is watching our stream. Today we will be spectating young talented girls playing chess. One of them is Fatality. She became very strong recently. She has a chess rating of 2355, which
Hello
is
everyone.
very
Hello,
much.
boys and girls.
I'm sorry. Which is very much, of course. And her young sister, Pinkamena, her rating is not that big, of course, because she's much younger. But she has a lot of years ahead of her, so this gap will become much less quite soon, I guess. And as usual, we'll be concentrating more on fatality games, because I guess most of you people are watching Pinkamena just to like I don't know, have this feeling when you're watching a child making something impressive even for a grown-up person. And so what am I telling you? Already know that, but I will be concentrating more on Fatality's games because she's a very skilled player, and I can give you some serious insight and make you understand more what's going on. So her first game is against Big Fish Pasha 07, who is 2278 in terms of rating, which is quite big as well. So as you can see, Fatality exchanged her bishop for a knight, and this is a Benoni opening, a Benoni pawn structure at least. And this exact pawn structure, this exchange may even favor black. Usually it's not like this, but in this exact pawn structure, you see white has more space on the board. So every minor piece exchange is favoring us, black, I mean. And as you can see now, the dark squared bishops are exchanged as well, and white will soon start to feel some pressure. a4 is played. Interesting move. Black would not like to play b4 here, of course, but there are like plenty of other moves like queen b6, queen a5. So I guess Fatality will find something that fits well. Rook b8 is a little bit worse, I think, but maybe not that much. Greetings from Brazil. Hello, Joseph. Hello, everyone. Yeah, the girls are super, there's no question. Queen e2 is played. Now I guess it's a choice between queen a5 or queen b6. Maybe c4 can be considered with the idea of b takes c4, b takes a4. I think it's quite nice because we'll have a lot of good squares for our pieces, for our knight on d7, like c5, e5, some big dark squares. Yeah, I guess c4 is quite good. But I don't think that it's really like very necessary to play like this. At this point we have a choice. But as you can see, Fatality is thinking much, so she's considering c4 at least. She decided over it and played queen a5, which is nice as well. The exchange on b5 happens, and now white will capture the a file. That's why I thought that maybe rook a to b8 was not too accurate, but once again, nothing serious yet. So what will white do exactly with the b file? Rook a1 will be met with queen b4, and black will have no troubles. Now c4 is possible, so queen b2 looks like a mistake to me. Yeah, that's it. She plays c4, and the problem for white is white can take on c4, and if I don't do it, black will be allowed to play c3 and then b4, and this pawn structure becomes like very questionable for white. Knight will stand on c5, and the white squared bishop is a complete trash in this kind of positions. Yeah, c3 is played. Fatality is having a big advantage here, I guess. Well, b4 is a very interesting move. Actually, if b4 works, everything that I said just goes out the window. It doesn't care anymore. And seems like b4 works, actually. But I guess, anyway, this is good for black. The pawn on c3, it will be not easy to eat this pawn. Or at least white will spend a lot of time doing it, and black will have this time to find some counterplay. So queen b3 is played, but this position is much more difficult than I thought it would be. Actually, white found a good response to this threat. Rook c8 is a safe move. This is never a bad decision, I guess. This may not be like the strongest move, but it's fine. And when you are low on time, you just have to make an okay moves, and it will be fine. Knight e5 is quite obvious because knight c6 was on the cards. Black is waiting for f4. f4 is not working because of queen b6, but I don't think that white will play f4. This is an obvious blunder. Actually, black may now consider queen c4. Queen's exchange, oh no, f4 is played. f4 is a huge mistake, I think. Now rook c4 is just giving black an advantage, really. She just has to find the rook c4 move, and it will be fine. And she does it. Rook c4 is played. Now rook takes d4, and white never have time to take on d6, and black will safely take the pawn on e5. And in addition to everything else, black will have an extra pawn. Well, maybe this was not the case if white played king h1 instead of taking on d4 initially, because the pawn on c3 will be attacked. But white obviously made the wrong decision, and now even knight on g7 comes to play. Knight h5, now the g3 spot is attacked, and this is not looking good for white. The threats on the king side are very strong, and the rook on a3 looks completely out of play for me. King d4, queen d4 check is safe, I think. At least we can make some more time doing it. Maybe knight f1 can be considered. Knight e2 is a very good move. Actually, this is much better than what I was proposing. Rook a1 is the only move for white, but it only delays the inevitable. Hello, Uno. Queen e5 check is played now, king h1. Well, black will have to play a little bit accurate, I guess. It's not done yet. And as we can see, Fatality is a little bit lost. Queen e5 is safe. Knight e2 is played. So black actually wasted one tempo, but it doesn't care in this kind of positions. Black has a lot of these tempos. Yeah, that's a good decision. Fatality is playing fast. That's a good idea. I would maybe consider h5, h4. This is quite safe. Oh, and pawn on e4 is given away. This helps. Knight g3 or knight d2 is okay. Yeah. Queen d1. And what's the move here? Rook c4. Nice move. And rook e4 now. Oh, she even takes on b4. That's okay as well. Rook e4. Or rook b2 is rather played. Knight goes to e4, and now knight f2 check, and everything falls for white. That's a very nice game, a clean one from Fatality. Let's even check it. I guess there were like no obvious mistakes or some inaccuracies. I'm very impressed. Fatality has done a very good job. Let's see what computer says. No, computer actually says that she had 4 inaccuracies, 1 mistake, and 2 blunders. Oh, it's this is not like that serious, because when you have like -1.5 advantage, -6.5 advantage, and you make mistake and your advantage becomes 1.5 instead of 6.5, it's not like really such a mistake, I would say. So I guess this game, it still looks clean for me, you know. So how did Pinkamena finish her previous game? She won, I guess. Good job. Pinkamena off to a very good start. And Fatality's first game is about to start now. Second game is about to start now. And she's already berserking because her opponent is very low on rating. This is some weird opening. I don't know how to classify it better. It's something like Catalan, maybe, or maybe not. Oh, is this a misclick? I guess Black maybe wanted to castle, but King accidentally appears to be standing on f8. I need to study more. I don't go beyond 1200. Well, man, if you have as much as you have, if you have a lot of time, or at least some time, you'd rather spend it like playing chess. I would recommend you like not playing bullet, obviously, and if you are playing blitz, starting with like 5+3 or something like this, just to make yourself like thinking and not to like find yourself just making moves, not to like forfeit on time, and you'll succeed. Also, solving tactics is very important. If you solve match tactics, you'll become much better very soon. And you have to know basic openings. I'm never tired of like telling this. When I'm saying basic openings, I'm like meaning something that starts after e4, e5, like King's Gambit, like Italian, and everything like this. And I mean, when I'm saying Italian, I mean old variations, where white is playing c3, d4. Well, you know what I'm saying. And just like solving quick tactics, playing games, watching these games with a computer or with a coach if you have money, once again. If you want to hire a coach, I would recommend you not to hire someone who is less than an international master, because usually these guys just understand nothing. They're just good at tactics and nothing more. I'm talking about the guys who are below the international master mark. I'm not an international master myself, you know, but I'd like to think that I'm an exception in this occasion. Fatality is making a very good job right now. So she wasted only like 18 seconds, and her position is already, she has a very huge advantage. And now after f5, which was a huge blunder, she just takes on e6, that's a double attack. And now she'll take the rook on d8, so that's an extra exchange. And all the position will, black's position will fall after this very quickly. Knight f1 is a nice move as well, I like this move. What's my level? I'm a FIDE master myself. I have a rating of around like 2380. My highest was 2406, I guess. But I don't play very often, really. I would say that I lost most of my ratings just because I was playing with some tournaments where I was like one of the strongest players, and when you are playing tournaments like this, you will never like, it's very difficult to gain rating. And also, for example, if there's a money prize, sometimes you are forced to like make a draw with some lowered rated guy just to secure your prize. And this happened to me a lot of times. Rook on e8 is blundered, and yeah, now Fatality finishes the job. And it took only like less than 40 seconds for her, and her opponent nearly forfeited on time. Well, he was weak, of course, but still a very nice job, very good start. Fatality is looking fresh today. That's very nice rating. Thank you, man. Maybe soon I'll try to achieve my international master title. I think that I maybe like really play at the rating of around like 2450, something like this. And if I like solve some of my openings problems and change my playstyle a little bit and prepare tactically, just to like solving some tactics for some time, I guess maybe I think I have a potential to play at a level of like 2500 or 2550. But I need to work hard to achieve that, really. Hello, Brian. So some familiar faces on our stream. Fatality is playing something like London opening. I am quite a fan of this opening myself, but I'm playing with bishop on g5. But it's actually not the case because it's like the pawn is on f5, so it's a Dutch, and so the bishop on f4 makes much more sense in this exact pawn structure. Fatality is going for some high risk, some high reward plays. So she's changing pawn structure in a very interesting way. And I like this, to be honest. I think this is gonna work. f3, yeah, that's a nice decision, or maybe it wasn't. No, knight d2 was the accurate move, and if f3 seems like it was a mistake. Queen h4 is a weird move. The pawn on d5 can be taken now. I guess black just blundered it. Thank you, man. I'll try my best. So yeah. After this, when white just took the pawn on d5, I guess it's safe to say that white has a decisive advantage. Just has to be converted now. And I actually don't see much of a counterplay for black. For example, something like f4 can always be met with e4 or even e takes f4, and it will be fine. Rook d8 is played, but at least white can play d6 if she doesn't want to go for something more. I think Fatality will play f4. No, she will not. Knight c3. Yeah, knight c3 is better, of course. Now white can really consider f4 and bishop f3, if there is time to do so. Or maybe just bishop b5 will be fine. Now queen b3 is looking very good. I'd go for... I don't even know. I spent some time thinking here. I guess this is an important moment for white. I don't know what I would choose if I was white. Maybe queen b3? Oh no, it's a blunder! Oh, that's so unfortunate. I can't blame her for this. I didn't see it in the first second as well. Oh no. This just throws the script out of the window, isn't it? A minor piece is just too much. But at least she has a pawn on d6. Maybe this will make black's task a little bit more difficult. But yeah, this is very unfortunate. If you're looking at the bright side here, a knight on g3 looks a little bit out of the play, but not after this. No. No, I think this move decreases white's chances a little bit. I would try to maybe keep the knight on g3 out of play, but now knight can go on e4. Rook c1 is good though, because now knight e4 can be played, because the pawn on c5 will be hanging. And what do we do now? King h2. I like this move as well, and knight e4 is a mistake. Now white will take the pawn on c5. And now I see some chances. Now we have two pawns. which is already like almost enough. And also the C file is under our control yet, at least. It can be blocked with the bishop on c6, or at least it's not like entirely blocking our play because of b4, b5 idea, which can be executed. Well, I think it turns to be a very like it turns like in a very good way for white. White has quite good chances in terms of like if we compare it to what white could have had if black played correctly. Now maybe queen c2. Now that's once again that's a serious decision for white. I would go for queen c2 with the idea of a4 and b5. I guess it's fine, and I think Fatality will play it as well. Yeah, she does. Queen c2. Now black has to solve some problems. Black plays h5, and h5 is a good move, unfortunately. Maybe queen f2 can be considered. But yeah, it's not too good when you're forced to make a move like this, obviously. White don't want to do it. I don't like the a4 move, honestly. Oh, no, it's not gonna work, really. Queen takes h3 is missed, I think. And after queen takes h3, black just win the entire game. This move is not that easy, maybe. This is one that can easily be blundered, really. It seems like black doesn't see it. Has one more chance to play queen g3. But if black don't find this idea, then somehow this idea starts to work for white. But maybe black has just saw it. And white has saw it as well. So white is thinking now, maybe I should gamble and play queen h4, queen h1, just like, and hope that black will not see it. But instead black goes queen g1. Oh, and it's a stalemate! It's a like triple repetition. Well, that's a good ending to such a game. That's lucky. I think her opponent played queen g3 check because initially he was just only ready for the king h1 move, and king g1 caught black a little bit off guard, and maybe black wanted white to go king g1 again to take the pawn on e3 and give a check, but forgot that king g1 leads to triple repetition. Well, Fatality lost some time and lost some points, obviously, but it's still good in terms of like fighting for the first place. Nice ending. Yeah, that was quite a good turnaround after that unfortunate blunder on c4. So now we have Queen's Gambit, or what is it going to be? Queen's Pawn opening, it will be safe to say. Now bishop d3 is a move that shows that white is not looking for some sort of advantage. We can just exchange on d3 or play queen g6 or do whatever we like, basically. And yeah, bishop d6 is the safest move, I guess. Now just castle, then play c5, knight c6, and it's fine. And I think Fatality will do all this. No, she goes for knight e4 and f5 now, maybe. Wow, that's ambitious. Fatality is not messing around. She just straightforward goes to like shows that she's here to win. Now taking on g3 may be considered, and then taking on e5. I think with the pawn on f5 we're not scared of the h file, so we can take on g3, then take on e5, then play c5, knight c6, and just wreck white on the queen side. Why not? Hi there, hello Wiki. Knight d7 is played. No, I like knight takes g3 more, actually. I think in terms of like playing for win, this was better. But black will still have no problems, at least. Oh, and knight takes e4 is not a good move, I think. Because now I can see how black can win this game. So there will be some chances in the future. Because the f file is open and it's always a pressure on white. Black's plan is to play f3, and no, I don't like the c6 move because we are wasting time. And that time can be used by white. For example, white can exchange on d6 and then play castle and then f3. And c4 is a huge mistake. Bishop b4 is blundered. That's good for black. Now can just go back on d6, I guess. This will be good. Yeah, nice one. Good move, Fatality. Now we can take on g3. I think this will be good. But I don't think she'll take on g3, really. I think she'll play bishop c7. Yeah, I was right. But I think taking on g3 was better. Because this kind of post structure is good for black because it will take a lot of moves for white's king to find safe haven. But maybe bishop c7 is fine as well. Rook f6 is played. So black is doubling down on the f file. a3 is played. For some reason white is wasting time. a3 was a huge mistake. Why not king e2? Why you don't waste time making moves like this? Bishop h4 is played. Oh, I missed it. Actually, it works. I forgot about this move. Rook f5. Maybe rook g6 could be considered instead. Oh, and g5 can be played now. g5 is good, I think. White's bishop has nowhere to go, just back on g3. The problem is white maybe can play g4, but I don't think it's working. e5 is played instead. e5 is good as well. I like this move as well. Rook d1 and now g5. No, queen f7. But this makes the threat of g5 even stronger. Maybe that's why Fatality is laying it. It actually may work. Rook d2, I guess, is the only defense for white. So this move needs to be found. g4. Rook f3. This makes nothing with the g5 threat. Still working. Yeah, rook d2, yeah. So finally white makes this move. Now we have to think. Rook h3 may be winning now, surprisingly. If white plays bishop g3, then we take on g3, and funny that white can take on g3 with neither of pawns. Yeah, I guess that's a missed opportunity. Rook h3 was winning. But maybe queen g6 is winning too, who knows? I just don't know what to do after h3. But white played g5 instead, and g5 is much worse. g5 is definitely losing. I don't see a world where there will be a defense after queen h5. Yeah, no more bishop g3 idea, because we'll just take and white will lose everything, as I said. h3 was an important move for white. White just had to find it and didn't manage to do so. Now this game should be over. Once again, quite a clean game for Fatality. I don't think that... I think that she missed some opportunities, but there was never a time in this game where her position was worse, so it was quite safe. Bishop c3 now is the best. Yeah, and it's found. And white just resigned. Fatality is in a good mood today, in a good shape. Let's see what's coming next. Well, let's maybe watch some Pinkamena action. Knight b7. Pinkamena has a very interesting endgame. Of course, I'm concerned because this is an endgame still. But the knight on b7 is so misplaced, really. Why? Why didn't she take the pawn on g4? I have no idea, really. This was not even like a likely mistake to make. I can't guess a single move, guys. What is just happening here? King h5, really. just look at the placing of the pieces. Come on. King on h5, rook on a2. Well, I know you guys don't like me to be like too harsh on players and too toxic. So instead of like trying to control myself, I would rather go and look at this game instead. She's showing some good chess today. I don't know how it's called in English, but in Russian it's called something like the impossible opening. I actually liked this sequence of moves. I used to play bishop d3 in this position, and I was meeting f5 with f3, and f3 is something different, really. But maybe still good. Maybe f3 is even better, who knows. I guess the best move here for black is knight h6, and if white take on h6, then queen h4 check, and queen takes on h6. But then f5. c5 is... I don't think that it's good, really. I'm not a huge fan of this pawn structure for black. The pawn on b7 is blocked by a pawn on d5. So this ruins black's development a little bit. Of course, there is some compensation. The pawns will be like doubled on the c3 spot. And I think that white was mistaken not playing bishop d3 because... And black was mistaken by not taking on c3 because this is a very important moment for black. If the pawn structure on the c file is not ruined here, then black will give up on the dark squared bishop at some point, and there will be no compensation for this. So white just has a huge advantage here, I think. No man, king f1 was not a mouse sleep from her opponent. She gave a check on b4, and you can't make castling after a check. So king f1 was not a mouse sleep. It was like c4 that was a mistake. This is some kind of new Indian defense structure. Yeah, it is. But generally speaking, this pawn structure is not good for black. So black has to either have some counterplay or have a lot of minor pieces exchanged. And neither of these is happening for black in this exact position. That's why I think that white has a huge advantage. I think even f5 might be good here. f5 and just f5 and g5. And black will have just no room to breathe. And white still have enough space just to like put that final nail in the coffin of black's position. The pawn on h3 is also weak. Queen f3 is fine as well. You see, black's position is that bad that black can never even consider taking on f4 really, because if the play opens, that black's development just sucks, and white will easily win this game. So there is no reason just to hurry too much and play f5 as soon as we can. So black's position is worse either in statical and in dynamical point of view. I guess it's like +2 of the evaluation, something like this. Queen f6 is even worse because now g5 is even stronger than it was recently. I guess white was planning to play g5 either way, so black just wasted like 2 tempos. Maybe queen g6, queen h5 to try exchange queens, but white will never do it. Well, maybe it will be not that easy to go away from this exchange, but maybe even after exchange our position is just so good that we can just exchange and win this game anyways. Yeah, that's what Fatality does. This is safer as well. The rook on h4 is not for long. It will be moving away by, I don't know, bishop e3, bishop f2, or just some other way. King f2 is even better. Oh, king f2 is nice. This just shows how bad of a position black have here. So white is just moving king in front, and black can like do nothing about this. The problem in this kind of position, the problem with the positions when you lack space is that if you didn't manage to exchange your minor pieces, they will be absolutely useless and they will just like stand in the way and distract other pieces from making some impact. So now I think white can just play bishop g4, take the pawn on h3, moves the bishop away, play h4, h5, and just black will not even like have some like elusive counterplay here. So once again, that's a very good game from Fatality. I would not say that it was clean because it was like much cleaner if she didn't give black opportunity to exchange on c3, but even this way is fine. You see white even played g6. I like this. I like this very much because this just shows that white will still have enough space to win this game. So white don't have to like open it. So we'll just play h4, h5, and then our knight will have a very long maneuver to the g4 square. The exchange will happen, and the pawn will reach h6 spot one way or another. Now even the b file is opened, and now you see, black can't even like move the h rook to help on the b file because it's blocked by the f8 knight, and the knight is blocked by the d7 bishop, and the bishop has nowhere to go. So that's like the drama of positions where you lack space. So here now she will just play a5, rook b6, and black can do nothing about it. If you are a chess fan, you maybe have seen some Petrosyan games. He has like some very impressive games in this kind of scenario. And you see black just given away the knight for the pawn just because like knight is so useless, it just stands in the way and it doesn't help in any sort of way. Knight on g4 looks like it found some space, but realistically it's not like this. Knight still has nowhere to go, just despite the fact that it like overcome the center of the board. Still no good squares. I think bishop e4 was not the most accurate move. Rook f1 was a little bit stronger. Now just not blunder rook h3 check. Oh no, she blundered it. Oh no 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 no! This was so bad. This was so unfortunate. She just had to play h4, and this would be a perfect game. And now the position is nearly equal, I guess. I would still give white some advantage, maybe just because of the two bishops. But she has 8 seconds. King g3, yeah, it's the only move. Luckily, she found it. But what's the reaction now? Bishop g2. Oh, and knight h5 is winning. Black missed it. Now we have a chance. King f4, I guess. Let's just pray that there will be no checkmate. Rook c2. Now bishop h3 is fine. Bishop h3 is fine. 3 seconds. This exchange is not good for black. This is a mistake. King h4 now. Then rook a7 and rook g7. And now white's position is better. Just has to convert it. But I'm not really sure about this. But I have a feeling that it's like this. a6 and a7. It's very important now to play a6. Yeah, good job, Fatality. a7. Let's go. Rook takes c7 and g7 just wins the game right now. Rook takes c7. Let's go. Good job, Fatality. This will not be easy because... no, it will be easy because we have an h pawn now. And black can do nothing about it. Oh, and now g8 queen. This makes white's task even easier because now a8 queen. And whatever the move, queen g2 or king f2 or anything. That was some very good endgame awareness from Fatality. This is a phrase that you can really rarely hear from me, but this is the reality. She played it well, and she was lacking time, but she wasn't scared. She was concentrated, and she have done it. That was a very impressive game from young Fatality. So let's go, guys. She's laughing, she's smiling. So let's like write some comments about how proud are you. I'm proud myself. This was very good. This was some good end game awareness, some good plays in the time trouble. So yeah, I'm glad this ended well, and now Fatality is not out of the run for the first place. She still can make it. This position is very difficult to evaluate. d5 is a nice move. I like it. Knight d4 is strong though. But after knight d4 we can play queen a4 check. And if black plays bishop d7 we can go back on d1 and our pawns will not be doubled. I remember Petrosyan's game against Fischer, where Petrosyan just closed up the position on queenside and white squared bishop of black's. I think I get what game you're talking about. Yeah, but Petrosyan actually has a lot of games like this, so I'm not sure if I'm thinking about the exact games that you were having in mind. Queen a4 check, I guess. From my point of view, it's the only move here. But it's not that difficult, really. No, bishop e2 is worse. Not much worse, though. The pin will be no, that pin is not something you want, really. Oh, bishop d7, why? Why not bishop h5? This helps white a lot. Well, actually, now I think that white has a very good position. Oh, and now white make a pin of herself. And how do black meant to counter it? So some huge mistakes in a row from black. Yeah, now white has a very big advantage, I think. Rook e1, then e5, then knight e4. A lot of good ideas. Personally, I think Mortal Kombat is one of the most famous games in Russia besides CSGO. Well, it was like this some years ago, I guess. Now the most popular game in Russia is Dota, obviously. Second one is CSGO. World of Tanks is very popular as well. FIFA is very popular. Mortal Kombat is some sort of vintage classics, I guess. Like Tekken, maybe. But Tekken is like for the like younger generation, I guess, and Mortal Kombat is for like true olds. Oh, some interesting action is going on actually. White decides to take on f5 because maybe Fatality was a little bit scared of playing e5 because of something like g4. Maybe she was right. Now this is a very difficult position. To be honest, I'm not good at playing and even evaluating like these kind of positions. Everything is so difficult here. I guess White had to play a5. I'm quite sure about this. Just to force like Black's bishop to a7. This will make the b7's pawn a little bit weaker, the c7 pawn as well. For me, it seems like White is having an advantage, but I'm absolutely not sure about this. I may be completely wrong, like 180 wrong. Armand, do you have a PS5? No, I don't. Actually, I didn't even have like a decent computer to play, decent PC to play games until like the last year, or not the last year. So I bought myself a computer a couple of months ago, and before this, I didn't have a computer that is even good enough like to play CS:GO, really. So my parents were very strict, and they was just not allowing me to play games. I was studying all the time and playing chess. Well, it was not as bad as it sounds, really. So I played a lot of football, some other sports. I had some hobbies, but this was not computer games. I don't even have like 1500 hours in CS:GO, I guess, or something like nearly 1500. I like to play Tekken very much. I didn't like Mortal Kombat because I didn't like the mechanics of this game. I, I thought that I felt that you have to know too much to be good at this game and to like practice a lot. And Tekken is something much more like easy and fun. And I didn't have friends who are like huge specialists in this game, so it was quite competitive for me. I played football games a lot, FIFA and PES. Uh, Armand, do you know anything about Dubov? Have you ever talked to play chess with him? Yeah, I played a lot of games with Dubov because she is the same age as me. When we were children, we were playing together a lot of like championships of Moscow, something like this. I have a funny story with Dubov. Um, Once I was playing in the like Moscow championship under like 10 years, I guess. And at this point, I was considered much more talented than Dubov. At least I was stronger, for sure. And we were playing in the last game of the tournament, the last round. And this was the round where like it was decided whoever like comes to the Russian championship. Oh no 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 no! Fatality is about to be checkmated now. H4 is the only move. That was close. Oh, and now E8 actually wins the game. Oh wow, this check is it's impressive. Actually, it's a very interesting endgame and a very difficult one. Oh no, it's not. I guess it's an no after G4. It's not. Yeah, it's an easy draw for Black. So, um, yeah, and I was playing with him in the last round, and I think I already secured my spot in the Russian championship, and he didn't. And his father, I think he had to like make a draw to go to Russia. And his father like came and he was like arguing with the tournament organizers because he was like accusing them that they made the pairs this way to make it harder for his child, because I was considered a very strong player, and no, he didn't want his child to play against me. Actually, he was lucky and he made a draw. I didn't like. I was like had the upper hand in this game, but I didn't manage to win it after all, and we ended up having a draw. But yeah, I think at the age of like 15 or 16, Dubov became much more strong than me, much more talented, and he studied. He put much more time in chess than me, so that's fair, of course. So he's a very strong player, and I played once against him when he was already a strong grandmaster with a 2700 of rating. It was at some like Blitz finals. I'm not like Moscow Championship Blitz finals, I guess. And I met him in the first round. And in the first game, I even had the better position, but I fluffed it. And in the end, I ended up losing 2-0. So yeah, of course, Dubov is very strong. But we were never like friends. He just knows me, I know him, that's it. When he wins something like very important, I of course congratulate him. But that's all, I guess. Actually, black is playing with fire. Now I'm not even sure that it's a draw. At least it's close now. Yeah, nice move. Now king e6. King e6, let's go. Nice. And king d7. Oh my god. Did she really win this game? King d8. Oh my god. Fatality become an endgame god. I told you guys, I told you that at some time she'll be tired of losing this game in endgames, and now you see she won the unwinnable endgame. Good job, Fatality. Good job. Today is a very good day for her. So if we like discount that one blunder, bishop c4, this was just clean games. This were some like impressive stuff from Fatality. So well done, my girl. Are you moved yet? If you are talking about like the departure from Russia, no, I didn't. I'm still here, still in Moscow. Russia is a country with the greatest tradition in chess, and Brazil in football. That's why I cry. Well, and that's why Russian fans are crying like you're crying right now. I would say that Brazil is much more decent in chess than Russia in football, so you can be proud. So some weird reaction to Caro-Kann. White played f4, and Fatality has she's stronger in terms of rating in this game, but she decided over taking a berserk. So we're playing normal chess. Arman, you are the best commentator. Can you please talk about your favorite modern chess players? There are some my friends on stream, my brothers, I would say. Hello, brother. My favorite modern chess players. I'm not keeping track of modern chess really, so it's a very difficult question for me. I would say Magnus Carlsen. I'm not like trying to be unique in this one. So he has all the qualities that I like. I feel like there's impress me the most. I also like Aronian because he's like his chess are very tricky. So he has like a unique play style. Sometimes it's bad, like in terms of his results. So, but at least it's entertaining, you know. So he's playing like I don't know. He's playing like I don't know, Atalanta in football, Furia in CS:GO, or I don't know. You can have like many examples in this one. But Carlsen is like Carlsen is a player that I would like to be myself in terms of like his strengths and weaknesses if he has ones. I'm not sure that he has weaknesses. He's just perfect. I think he evaluates material like sometimes a little too much. So he is like sometimes he's like too too careful. He tries like not to give away material, not to sacrifice something. But once again, this may be a weakness, but I play like this myself, so that's not like a bad weakness for me. So for me, it's just something normal to be scared, to trying to play safe. It's okay. Not the chess club moved. It's like in the process of moving right now. It will take, I guess, 2 to 3 weeks, something like this. Do you like to play Go? Japanese game. I I didn't play Go. I guess maybe I played like 2 or 3 times, but I was playing shogi a lot, and I'm quite good at this game. I think my real like ranking is around like first Q or even first Dan maybe, because like your chess skill it transfers to shogi as well, and it works like back and forth. So once I was playing with a guy who he was my friend. He is my friend still. He's Japanese, and like he studied chess for around like 2 to 3 months. And when we were playing chess, the European chess, like I barely had my win. So I needed to like I won just because like time trouble started both ways. My time trouble was even worse than his. But you see, when you are new to the game, it's sometimes difficult for you like to think fast, and so that's why I won. But for a guy who studies chess for only 2 months, this was way too close, way much closer that I would like it to be. So I almost lost it. And the same situation was when we were playing shogi. I almost like I had a lot of chances really. That's a very interesting game going on. Bishop f4. I know what White's idea is, but it's not working. White will play e6 now, then there will be queen b6 check. And actually it appears that bishop f4 was a mistake. And e6 is a mistake as well. I guess White even saw it, just gambled on the fact that Black maybe will not see it, but this was not a good decision then, because there were no other moves than queen b6 check. This was quite obvious. Тупо я сейчас слил 1600 и выиграл 2200. Ну, соберись. Соберись. Еще целых полчаса. Queen b5. So now black has 2 extra pawns. And this game is very interesting. I was just spent some time answering questions, and I didn't like keep track on the tactics that was going on, but I was watching with my like one eye, so I was not careful about it. But I think, in my opinion, everything was correct, and now this move is very weird. I don't get why would black make this kind of move. What's even the idea? Mm, why not just queen c6 maybe? Or maybe I'm wrong. Bishop c5 is not looking good as well. This exchange I think is very bad for white, because it's not only about like 2 rooks being better than a queen, it's about like the opportunity that white maybe like checkmated in 2 or 3 moves. The king is standing like in a very dangerous spot. This is not going to end well for white, definitely. But it's not going to be this easy. Fatality may not like find it. It may be like difficult. Now maybe white can even take on e1 really. But plays king f3 instead, and this might be a mistake. Because rook f1 was working. Oh, and it was so beautiful. Rook f1 was winning. Queen takes f1, then knight d2 check. This is such a huge tactics. Now knight c4. Oh, I'm so scared. This is very difficult to play like this kind of positions. 95. No, 95. The queen was blundered. No, fatality is such a big chance. This was such a big chance. But black will still win it, I guess. It will just be difficult. Knight e5. Now h5, knight g4, and rook h1. Let's go. No. Wait, no. Rook h5. h5 now might be working. Yes, h5 is working. Queen takes h5, knight f6, and rook h1 checkmate. She didn't find it once again, but it's very difficult. It's very easy to find this kind of moves when you're watching, but when you're playing, you're just too scared of everything. So I'm not sure that I would find these moves if I was in Fatality's place. She has more time. This is a good sign. Rook e2 now. No, she took, and this was not a good decision, I think. Now the win may become very difficult. She takes on h4. I like this decision, but maybe a6 is possible now. Rook h2 check was very important to play. Oh no, she missed it. She missed it all. Oh, and now it's going to be so difficult. Or maybe she can just make a draw. Maybe she'll be happy with this. Yeah, she will. Well, that's a good ending of the story. Ooh, this was scary. This was hell scary. Fatality missed some chances, but yeah, she had such a big time trouble, so I can't blame her really. But rook f1 was very beautiful, guys. 27th move for black, rook f1. This will be such a beauty. And you see, the problem is, if white was playing king e2, maybe thinking that knight d6 check can be met with queen take a8, knight take e8, king takes f1. King e2 was not working because of knight c3, and it was a double check. And white don't have time to capture on e8, and the queen is falling. Yeah, chess is such a beautiful game sometimes. My chess skill is very bad. How can I improve that so I can play with all of my favorite female chess players? Well, I think if a man like me playing chess with women, we can make a deal. If she lost, she give me her number, but if I lost, I give her nothing. You got the moves, my man. I like it. You already understand the essence of the game. Just to like to find some girls. It took a lot of years for me to understand this, like what is really important in chess and in life. So once again, you have to just play a lot. 5+3 at the very minimum, just to like think. You have to solve some easy tactics, at least half an hour a day, every day, without missing. And you need to analyze the game that you're playing. You may use the Lichess stockfish that is like inside the platform, and this will be fine. For the better progress, you may even hire a coach, but once again, you better be looking for someone who is international master at least. It is going to cost you nearly like maybe 35 to 45 euros per hour. But this will help a lot. And then you can start your hunt for the numbers of young girls. I like that you are so practical, you know? You just know what you need from the life. You know how to like convert your skill into something more. Rook takes f6 might be working now, and that's what White is thinking, really. I guess. And I think it's working, unfortunately for Fatality and for all us, the viewers. H takes g5 makes no sense because of queen h5, so we have to take on f6 and pray for this not being lost, and maybe for White not finding the way to win it. But knight h7 is an incredible move as well. I think it's the correct decision. Now maybe queen 4. Oh, actually queen f4 is so good. Or maybe it's not. White can play rook f1. Rook f1, queen h4, g3, queen h3. No, maybe queen f4 is not as good as I thought. Maybe queen e7. Oh, f5 can be played. Come on, f5. f5 is very strong. Well done, Fatality. Well done. She's so on spot today. But maybe knight f6 check is still threatening. But I don't think that White will have such an easy win there. King g7 has to be played. Now knight h5. Yeah, unfortunately White just find every move here. And king g6 is played. That's ambitious and that's strong. Because otherwise White will have opportunity to play queen e3, I guess, or something like this. Oh my god! She blundered it and I blundered it with her. I didn't see it as well. Was this working? I want to see if this was working. No, it wasn't. Actually, Black had an advantage. This sacrifice was not working for White. King h7 was the only move, and King h7 was winning actually. King h7, and what if White played Queen g4? What's the advice? Rook g8, Knight f6 check, King h8. Oh, and White don't have time to take the rook on g8 because the pawn on the queen is attacked. And after queen h4 we have rook g6. So I was wrong. This wasn't working. This was just a bluff, but it went through. Fatality was mistaken about this. Yeah, that's unfortunate right there. Someone told me that I should not do the Sicilian defense as a beginner. Is that true and why? Well, there are some openings that you definitely need like not to play as a beginner. For example, it can be said about something like King's Indian. Basically, you need to play openings that have like that show you the importance of developing and the like essence of tactics. So that's why you have to like not play something like French or King's Indian, where there is like some hyper modernism. So when some side has like space advantage. So you need to play something straightforward, like e4, e5, d4, d5, just to like feel the essence of opening first, and like something like more or less tactical to start. I would not say that Sicilian is as bad. I think that you just have to be very careful when you are choosing variations of the Sicilian. But yeah, I would recommend you to play e5. E5 is not a mistake. It's definitely like the best choice that you can make is to play e4, e5. And then just study all the like move by move openings, like when you just need to know not to lose. For example, King's Gambit, Italian opening with the c3, d4, these old variations. Rui Lopez and like all this stuff. You don't need to like know it like in the depths of Magnus Carlsen. You just need to know the basics. Your goal when you're a beginner is just not to lose your game in opening, just to make it competitive when the middle game starts, so that you can like make your thinking, make your progress. You don't want to win in openings because when you win in opening, you basically like make no progress. So this is not your goal. Of course, it's good when it works, but as a player who wants to develop, you like you need to have as much competitive games as possible, you know. So I think you can like play Sicilian sometimes, but at least you need to like spend some hours playing e4 e5 for both sides. I'm also not recommending you to play d4 as a first move. I don't think that that's the right path to follow. e4 is better for the beginner, I think. Какая диета полезна для шахмат? Насколько важно находиться в хорошей физической форме? Я не тот, кого об этом надо спрашивать. Я глушу колу целыми днями. Я жирный, как свинья. Но я и не шахматист, поэтому, видишь, не делай, как я просто. Вот. Очень важно находиться в хорошей физической форме. Очень важно. Меня, например, очень не хватает на конец турнира. Всегда. И это очень большая проблема. Я очень много рейтинга из-за этого потерял. Просто обычная диета, не вредная еда какая-то. Как и для любого спорта, как для футбола какого-нибудь. I'm sorry, guys, for like speaking Russian for so long. I was just answering the question: what kind of a diet you need to follow to be a good chess player, and how important it is. I was saying that it's very important, and I'm not a good chess player, and one of the reasons is that I am in a very bad shape physically. I'm overweight a little bit. Well, I'm lying, not a little bit. I am overweight. And also, like, I don't do enough, like, training of sports. I play football a lot, but I'm a goalkeeper, so it doesn't, like, help too much in terms of the physical shape. And I drink a lot of, Coca-Cola and everything like this, so eat a lot of burgers. So just look at the Eden Hazard, what kind of like a football player he became, and the diet in chess is quite similar to diets in some other sports. You just need to eat healthy and try and practice. And I'm like I'm feeling the lack of my physical form in a lot of my games. I always have some trouble in the classical games, and this means that games are very long, and I'm feeling that I don't have enough energy to finish it as well as I started. I hope I don't get paired with Fatality in her form. I would lose in 10 moves. Well, she's very good today, that's true. Now she has 2 bishops advantage, and her opponent has a strong rating, but Fatality is having an advantage here, for sure. The bishop on c6 is like so annoying for black. It will not stand here for long, but I think bishop h4 is very good now. At least it makes the job done, so it wasted a lot of time for black. And white can maybe create something in this time. Maybe play e5. But I'd rather go for bishop h4 really. e4 is played, that's maybe a good decision. One of the options that I was considering myself. Now e5 may be strong. I think e5 was very strong here. But this is like a mature move. It's difficult for a young girl to make this kind of move, because this is like unorthodox a little bit. I think it was working. e5, rook takes e6, e take f6, and if g takes f6, then rook e8 check, king g7, rook g4 check, king h6, bishop f4 check, king h5, and for example, I don't know, rook g7 or h3, and despite bishops being like different color, black will have a lot of trouble here. But black will still have a lot of trouble, even in this scenario. Oh, now e5 is even better, I think. e5 is winning. Yeah. Knight takes d5 and e takes d6. No. E takes d6 was winning. But maybe rook takes d5 is winning as well. But e takes d6 was much better, I think. Either way, Fatality gets the job done, I think, because now she'll just take on d6, then play d7, then play bishop c7, and just look at the bishop on b3. He's just so out of play, out of the action. And there's nothing black can do with this kind of like positioning of pieces. Once again, a very impressive game from Fatality. d7, and white will just have an extra rook, and I will have time to answer your questions. Thank you for your explanation. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Что-нибудь на дагестанском тоже сказать? Я не дагестанец, друг. Я не знаю дагестанский. Kung Fu is one of the most powerful tactical defense from China. Kung Fu? What is it? Oh, Kung Fu. Sorry guys, I'm out of context here. Yeah, previously I think Russian is not human, they're another being, but now they just look like yeah, we are the normal humans. Well, Fatality actually makes the job done. You look like Tobey Maguire, by the way. Yeah, everyone just says it to me. This is really the truth. It's funny because you know I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man as a franchise, and I'm also a huge fan of like my favorite like maybe series is like, the first one with Tobey Maguire. I also like the one that is like in the Marvel universe right now. I think these movies are very good, but those with Tobey Maguire, this is just like something else. And I like the actual personality that Spider-Man had in these movies with Tobey Maguire. I can associate myself with this, so I like these movies so much. And that's a real compliment for me that I look like Tobey Maguire. When I'm playing well, I'll go to Moscow to play with all three at the same time. You're welcome, man. We're waiting for you. Есть сказал, это свой. Ну, тогда же есть, получается. Wow, now some very interesting openings going on. So, Fatality is not out of her tricks yet. Maybe... I don't even know what to say, this is so weird. Maybe knight e7 and then d5. This is so spicy. Maybe d5 right now. Is it working? It may be working, I think. It's very difficult to evaluate what it's leading to. Maybe actually knight f6 is quite good. Yeah, knight g to f6 and then d5. Or maybe d5 instead. Well, I was not considering this move, definitely. I don't like the pawn structure, honestly. But maybe we play knight d7 f6 and take the pawn on f5. If this is the initial idea, then I'm just shocked. Knight d to f6, let's go. This will be so strong. I think she's thinking because she just can't believe it. This move looks so wrong. But oh, he didn't make this move. But now white can play queen h5. I think this was a mistake. This is weird because I thought that this was Fatality's initial idea, and seems like I was wrong. Tobey Maguire in a nutshell. You see, for me, it's like it seems so unfortunate that Sam Raimi was never given an opportunity to make some more movies, because everyone just thought that the third movie was a disaster, and I absolutely disagree with this. The third movie is maybe even my favorite. Well, the second part is very good as well, and the first part is good. But the third movie is like it's my favorite because of like the the Bully Maguire, this bad Spider-Man. It was just so good. Tobey Maguire is such a great actor as well. This role was just made for him. Bishop E2 was a huge mistake, by the way, for White. Queen H5, I think, was winning. Queen H5 and then Knight E6 was such a strong threat. Maybe it was not winning, but it was making a lot of problems for Black. That's for sure. Look, buddy, I'm not English either, but you see I'm writing in their language for the next broadcast. Say a few words back and forth in Dagestan. Good night. I'll try it, man. If I don't forget, I'm very low skilled in terms of memory, but I'll try to forget it. Good night, man. Good night. Жизнь. Проиграл против 1200-1600, но выиграл 3 раза против... Ну, это классика, да. Ну, это Блиц, не переживай, у меня постоянно так. What is your favorite chess format? Blitz, Bullet, Classic, where you get the biggest adrenaline? Well, in terms of adrenaline, maybe my favorite format is Bullet. And it's hard to like argue that in terms of adrenaline, it's hard to like compete against this format. But I would say that I'm very bad in Blitz. I'm bad at Bullet if we are talking about the online chess. I think I'm very good at Bullet when we are talking about the like playing live on the board. I have like a very like prepared hands, so I'm very skilled in terms of like pressing the clock at the right timings. Like, for example, I have a little trick. So if you find my games in the Chess Fight Night channel, you can see that sometimes I make some weird castling. I'm making castling with one maneuver of my rook like this, and this is very fast. And if you find my games where I do this, you can always see that my opponents are laughing because no one does it. Instead of like, no one does it. The only one who does it is me and some of my friends who learned it from me. And this is something really funny. Maybe I'll tell you one funny story in some later streams. I just don't want to like give away all of my secrets yet. So yeah, I think I'm good at live Bullet. I'm bad at like online Bullet. I'm bad at Blitz, like either way. At some point, like the Rapid was the format I was the strongest. I am like I became Moscow Championship in Rapid twice in a row in my like age. Oh wow, that's a nice one. Fatality's opponent blundered a checkmate and gave her an opportunity to play one more game and maybe fight for some more points. Yeah, but I think my best like skills are in Rapid and in classical chess. I think classical chess are for me, and especially the formats where like it's not only 19 minutes produce plus 40 seconds, but also 40 minutes after the 40th move. So I just need a lot of time to. I think I'm good at concentration, maybe, but I need a lot of time to convert it. And also my playstyle is just I'm trying to make an advantage from nothing. I'm ready to play a game of like 1.5 hundreds of moves. So I'm just ready. I'm ready to like convert unconvertible. So that's why I like classics the most. До 1000 не могу подняться, на 500 стою уже месяц. Больше играй, разбирай партии, решай задачи каждый день, не пропуская хотя бы полчаса в день. И все будет. Who's your favorite all-time chess player? Well, I was asked this question quite a lot in these streams, but yeah, I would say that one of my best like favorite players is Tigran Petrosan, the ninth world champion. He was also a coach of my coach, so I can relate to him like in terms of like some education. But I think the player with the most similar playstyle to mine is Ulf Andersson. So something like this. He had like the same idea of making advantage out of nothing, and he was good at it. Much better than me, of course, but maybe at some time when I'll just be more serious about chess, I'll reach the same level. Who knows? As you can see, it's a very weird choice. Usually people would say something like, I don't know, Tal or Fischer, but I'm not a fan of like. I'm not really very impressed with some like tactical masterpieces. I am impressed with like the domination, the strategical destruction. So if you watch my games, when I win a game, it's usually like the one for chess books, and when I lose a game, it's usually a blunder. So I like to like take my opponents in my clutches and never let them go, just like blocking every counterplay opportunity. And this is a playstyle of Anderson as well. There are still cheaters in 2022. Yeah, and a lot of them as well. I was working in the anti-cheating like. Oh wow, Queen d4. I thought she will play King d1 and Queen takes b2 was impossible because of Rook b1, but now I'm confused. Oh, is it really the idea of bishop takes h7 check and Rook e to b1? Well, that's something special, really. Oh my god, she did it! Wow. Wow, that's some nice tactics from Fatality. And this actually, it works, and it works wonders. Oh, why was this Rook? Well, this is even more interesting, really. I thought the idea was to play Rook e to b1, but maybe this is even stronger. Fatality impresses me today, really. The only problem is that black can play Rook b8. Maybe that was something that she miscalculated. This may be very strong. But at least we can play... Oh, I don't know, Queen takes a7. Oh, Rook takes a7 might work. I think after Rook b8, black will have a slight advantage. Maybe not a slight advantage even. I don't see advance, so Rook b8, Rook takes a7, Queen c2, and what's the next move? That's such a difficult position, really. Yeah, he played it, Rook b8. Now Queen c2, and I don't have a good advice for Fatality after this. Maybe Queen d1, something like this, or Queen f2. Queen f2 maybe is fine. We just have to like not blunder Rook b2. This game doesn't matter either way because there are 13 seconds left. The tournament is over, so this will not count anyway. Really, which two are the most perfect players in the world today? There's the one perfect player, is Magnus Carlsen. He is just good at everything. Absolute superstar, absolute prodigy. Every other player has some weakness that can be really felt. Queen d1 is played. I like this move. I think this is maybe one of the best decisions that white can make here, could make. I think it was very strong for black. Oh no, maybe it wasn't. Queen takes e3 may be the right move. Knight takes f7 is, I think, fine. Oh, actually, rook b2 maybe. Oh no, actually, we can play rook e2. Oh no, we can't. Oh no, we can. Yeah, rook e2. Maybe we could even do it without a check, really. But now rook e2 definitely is working. But what's the evaluation of the endgame that is happening after this? I don't think that we're losing, but there is a chance that we are losing. Queen f2 now. Well, even if this position is lost, we'll definitely have a lot of chances, because the king on g6 is so unsafe. The pawn on a6 is hanging, and all this stuff. Well, I was asked who is the perfect player today. No, Kasparov was very strong, but he was never perfect. Exactly perfect, it's not something that you can say about Kasparov. Because if you remember his match against Vladimir Kramnik that he lost it just especially because he wasn't perfect. Kramnik abused his weakness of endgames. Oh, g4 is a very, very huge mistake because of e3 check. White should have never let this happen. And black doesn't use this opportunity. Knight g5. Oh, I don't know. This is so difficult. h4 now, or knight e6. Knight e6. Well, actually, after knight e6, black. I was really a little bit scared for black. Now it is a draw, I think. I'm not sure about this. Black is playing with fire now. Oh, it's not looking good for black, actually. King e5. No, 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 no. That's not the right move. King e5 had to be played, definitely. Now h4. Oh no, what is she doing? Oh, Fatality is tired, guys. She's tired. There is no other explanation to this. King f4. Oh, actually, black doesn't know what he's doing. If black continues to play like this, he may fluff the victory, and that's what happened. Of course, black had to play rook d1 and rook d2, then c2 d3, and there was no stopping it. But now it's an easy draw, and black even almost forfeited on time. What is black doing? Why not exchanging rooks? Some bad manners here. Black should have better learned how to play endgame than to how to like make some bad manners play. This was such a one endgame, and what's the point in doing this? Looking forward to seeing you on Twitch, Arman. Have a good day, everyone. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see you on Twitch as well. When I will be starting streaming here. So, thanks for your stream, guys. Ah, voice is going on? Ah, it's not the tournament already. Fatality is just playing for fun. So, thank you for your attention, guys. I'll see you next Monday, or maybe earlier if something changes. So, keep in touch, keep track. Bye bye.